Two, one.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. On this episode number 222, that's 222, Dois of the Good Morning Guys podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night as we talk about the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and to play. I am one of your hosts, the Brazilian Mountaineer and Transition Ninja, Lucas Ham Swisher. Also with me, the judge, the jury, and the executioner of fake news, spoilers, and Christmas, Patrick Novosel.
Good afternoon.
And a good afternoon to you, my friend.
The way you said it, it's like he executes. Like
I know. I thought about it once I said it. I was like, maybe he shouldn't be.
Oh,
he's the executioner of Christmas.
Executing Christmas.
Fake news, and one other thing I can't. Spoilers.
I mean, executing Christmas can be one of two ways. One, it's like I'm tearing it down. One, I do a pretty good job of executing it.
There you go. Did you say one twice?
I was thinking about bad execute.
He takes it.
Did you say one twice? You're like, one, I do this, and one, I do this. Maybe. All right.
That was one
A, 2, and D.
You're definitely not the executioner of sequential order.
Well,
but that's okay. To his left and my right, the Rocket League and Beast of the East, who can make you laugh in 3 words or less, back from the dead, Ronnie Johantis.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Hi. And then the final member of the GMG quadfecta, the guy with music in his heart, Doctor Who on his brain, and La Carreta in his old stomacho, but only here in spirit, because he's visiting his old mama in New Englandville, Mark Boucher.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
May his soul rest.
We love him. We loved him.
You know, if one of us ever does die, we're going to have a heck of a time trying to explain that to people that somebody's actually dead.
Yeah. They're not going to believe us.
They're going to be like, we are not joking this time. He
He bit the big one, kicked the bucket.
I mean, just the way you said it, he is dead.
Deader than anybody's ever been.
It'll take at least a couple episodes before they're like, wait a second. They're telling the truth. All right. If you're a new joiner, welcome. If you're not a new joiner, well, you've been warned many times and you're still here. God bless you. We're so glad you're here. So glad to have you with us along for the ride. This morning, we are sharing what's new with us on the Earl and Iffle front. And then after that, we will be doing another installment of the GMG Nerd Show, where we're going to be talking about CCXP and the VGAs. So if it has an acronym, we're going to talk about it. So be prepared, be ready, even as Patrick squints his way.
Is it still the VGAs?
Future. Isn't it Video Game Awards?
Wait a minute, I'm confused as well, but on a separate note altogether. It's on the Earl and Iffle part. So we're talking in real life, and what is the other one?
In fake life.
Wow.
I mean, my entire life is fake. So
those are horrible. Those were created without me, I think.
Yeah, they were.
I wasn't here that week.
If you miss too many episodes, that's when this stuff happens, and you're like, "What is happening?" You just roll with it.
Yeah, I just have to. I'm just not going to say it.
It's fine. We'll say it for you. But it gives you, we like it because, well, we's a lot of people. I like it because it sounds like this nice old couple that you just
Earl
love so much. Earl and Iffle. Hey, like
they've been married for 70 years.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how we've gotten to after over 220 episodes. Now at 222.
I wonder if
the palindrome, is that it? Palindrome? The palindrome?
Palindrome, I believe.
Episode, the palindrome. Ooh, you got to put the emphasis on the different syllable. I got you. Good to know. Good to know. As is tradition, Ronnie, even though I think Patrick was going to say something, you haven't been here in you haven't been here in a week or two.
I was looking up IFL, what the acronym IFL is. Indoor Football League is one of them.
That's actually what we're going to be. It's kind of to give us like a backup plan, just in case the whole, the whole current format of the GMG guys stop working. We can still use IFL because we can just talk about indoor football league instead
I don't
of
even think is that still a
video
thing?
games.
Indoor football league?
I think it is somewhere.
There's an arena league still somewhere.
Hmm.
I didn't know it was called indoor football league though. I thought it was like arena league football or something. Or maybe that's the one that's no longer here.
Oh, maybe, yeah. That's the one that
None of them are
Drew Brees won, right?
Was the
Kurt
XFL
Warner.
any good? Like, did you guys watch that?
No, it's not.
I
good.
think I
It's
watched the
not-
highlight
like,
reel.
all the good
once.
players are in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. No, I was
makes
never
sense.
interested in another league.
Yeah.
I
I can't follow that.
I remember seeing highlights for one of those. I think arena foot. What's the one where the wall's really close to the sidelines, or
That's
the
arena
sidelines
football.
is the wall? Yeah, that seemed really dangerous to me. And like
Yeah, it was
just
kind of awesome. I honestly-
flipping. I mean, it did sound fun. You know, it's a shorter field, right? If I
It's only
remember
50
correctly.
yards. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite contained. It's like NFL blitz where they can just like blast through each other. They light on fire and
is.
stuff.
Remember
Yep.
the movie Super Troopers where they start out playing arena league football? Like, and how
Ooh.
awesome it is.
That's a callback. I haven't watched that in a really long time.
Its acting is just as bad as you thought it was, but it's an awesome movie still.
I don't doubt it. I
There
don't
is.
doubt it. Sometimes it's best not to go back, and it's best just to
Yes.
let it live in your memory, as we'll see in one of the TV shows I just finished. But I'm going to save that. Put a pin in that.
Isn't it?
Pin it. And go to you, Ronnie. What's up with Earl and Iffle?
There's a lot. There's
Yeah?
a lot of stuff.
All right.
no.
Let me hold on. Let me buckle up. Zip.
It's not
Click.
really that much, but
Click.
Yeah. Click it or tick it, buddy.
Ooh,
You know the drill.
Yeah.
You know the
have
drill.
do they have that in Brazil too? That same crappy line?
No. I've just passed it so many times in living in Ohio, West Virginia.
They still use the same one.
It's like
Goodness.
buckle up or you'll see what happens.
Buckle up or we're going to stop there.
now there's just like notes on the highway of like, hey, make sure you don't leave your kid in the back of your car. It's like telling people to not forget their children.
Oh, gosh,
I'm
it's
always
so-
like, whew, all right, man.
yeah.
Downer.
I know. I know.
Hey, you quit looking at your phone while you're driving 70 miles per hour down the road.
So to life.
Yeah.
So to
Let's
life.
hear it.
Earl.
Surprise
Well,
us. Regale us with
I will
your
start with the thing
life
that
stories.
I am just excited about, which is the Bengals beat the Chiefs. Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
my
baby.
goodness.
Mm.
Yes.
I just want to get fired off right away for this. Like, man, I can't believe that we have a good football team. It's the weirdest thing. You just expect them to not be good at every turn because we've been conditioned for that. However, this is all different. None
Yeah.
of these guys are the same. They don't know. They don't know they're the Bengals. They still don't know. It was so much fun though. Yesterday's game was a lot of
my
fun.
gosh. The anxiety for that game. I mean, it was close.
Yeah, it was like the whole game, really.
Yeah.
Even at the
Decisions they were
beginning,
making and the offensive plays, like they're on the 1 yard line.
Oh man.
1 yard line.
Oh,
They've been
man.
sneaking the ball all game. Just sneak it again. Just sneak it again.
Oh man, and Carlos Dunlap, our ex-player of all people, like read it like a book, and he was all over it. Here's the thing with going forward on fourth down. I remember. It seems like all of my life, Marvin Lewis was the coach before this. But the period of time where Marvin Lewis was the coach, I distinctly remember one of my big problems with the way he coached was that he coached way too conservatively. He just never went for it on fourth down, always punted, played it safe, all of that. Every time you always knew what the decision was going to be. Well, now there's no way to figure out what they're going to do. They actually are going for it probably too much for me now. Like ask and you shall receive. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Because now that's like, oh no, they're going for it. Like then you're sitting
They
back on your couch,
continue
like
to go for
sweating.
it.
Yeah.
It's oh man. That's when I stand up. I'm like, oh no, they're going for it. I got to
can't believe
stand
we're
up.
doing this.
Yeah. Got to put on your rally caps.
And at first I'm thinking, man, if we score, this is going to be a big one. Like if we score and put one in here.
Mhm.
And then we didn't score. And I'm like, oh, come on, you got to take the points.
Yeah. It's easy to turn on a dime with those calls and be like, why did you do that? Even though I wanted you to
Yeah.
2 seconds
No,
ago.
I mean they went for it and they did a weird play. It's like, why would you put it in the hands of someone outside of P. Ryan or Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow? You took it out of your three playmakers and you're trying, and it didn't work.
I just don't know why we didn't sneak it. It seems like we're starting to do that now. Well, I thought, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was looking at the stats. The biggest surprise to me when I looked at the stats was I'm pretty sure the Chiefs either tied or had more sacks on them than you guys. And I was like, who is this team?
It's different now. Yeah. It's actually different. The beginning of the year. So for people that don't know, the Bengals went out and replaced all but one of their offensive linemen.
I can't understand why.
There's 5 guys on the line, 5 like regular guys, and only one of them from last year is in.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the season, the first like couple of games, like that was the same thing. Like people like he was just getting sacked. But now these guys have all worked together for a little while, and they are a cohesive unit.
Yeah, they are.
And they're getting pretty good. they're exactly what we paid for now.
Just in time. I mean, this is pretty much what they did last year, right? Where they lost some games.
It almost is exactly the same.
Shaky, and then all of a sudden, halfway through the season, they're like, okay, time to get serious.
They only finished 10-7 last year, and they went on a run the second half of the season. So, I mean, up until that run happened, it's just like this year. Like it didn't look like they were going to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is so much fun. It is. I actually do have more anxiety now that they win, I think. Like, because now there's the expectation of winning. So I feel like that's more of like a burden on my shoulders. And I'm back to the point where I really care. And I wish I quit for a while. I was off the stuff.
Right.
And yeah, now I'm back on. So, but it is fun. Winning's always fun.
For sure. That's awesome, man. I'm very excited for you guys. And I'm excited as a fan vicariously through you in Brazil in the Southern Hemisphere.
I saw that the Bengals like nationwide were like one of the top like 10 to 15 like most popular sports teams. Like they entered into that realm.
Oh, did they?
Just like across the board, like just all sports like teams. Yeah. So
I mean, I can see that because everyone loves an underdog, and
everybody's rooting for him last year. I think the Cinderella story deal.
Yeah. I mean, Bengal tigers are everywhere, so
plus they got this new cool white.
People love a good mascot.
Jerseys.
Oh yeah,
they do. Yeah.
The whiteout jerseys are cool.
Yeah, I actually bought a whiteout jersey for both my dad and my stepmom this year for Christmas. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They were they had a good deal actually on Black Friday. But yeah, it only was some sizes. That's like how they get you. Like the large that I bought, of course, full price.
Of course. Yeah.
But yeah, so outside of that, going back a little bit to the quitting thing, I don't know if I've updated you guys in a while, but like I have, like I quit dipping tobacco about 2 months ago.
Right.
Yeah. It's over. I mean, I don't, I quit and it's behind me, honestly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah. It's not that I don't like, I'm not, let me think how to say this. I don't crave nicotine, at all. That part doesn't, I didn't really have that. What was harder for me was getting rid of the habit of doing it all the time.
Yeah.
So, and main area where I did it was when I was playing video games and stuff. So I actually have like next to my little video game station, I have like a bag of sunflower seeds, like like a thing of pistachios, like just something, you know what I mean? Like, because it feels like something's missing still.
Yeah.
And 2 months later, it's crazy how that works. But
so do you spit the seeds or you just like eat the entire thing?
No, I if I have sunflower seeds or any kind of seed in my mouth, like I don't. Sometimes I'll just put sunflower seeds and hold them in my cheek. You know
in
what
your
I mean?
cheek, like you would, like you would, chewing tobacco.
Just so that like something is there, in between. But no, I break the shell apart in my mouth and then spit out the shell and eat the seed. Is that not what everybody does?
The only thing I can think of is that part in Ace Ventura where he's like, I don't smoke. It's a disgusting habit. And he's just got like sunflower
chewing the bird seed. It's like spitting it everywhere.
Right. Exactly right. I've gotten to the point where I don't really have any of those things like throughout the day. It's really just in that one realm now.
Yeah.
As when I'm sitting there and gaming like late night. That's where that's the realm where I would like think about it. So yeah, I mean, just replacing stuff. It was actually like, I'll be honest, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
That's awesome.
So I think I think I had done it on and off since I was 17. So I'm old now. So that's happened for a really long time. I just turned 35. So just had a birthday. And
Happy belated birthday, my friend.
Thank you. It was the 28th. We went out to the casino for dinner. I lost money, but had a great time. So I can't complain at all.
Yes.
I did have another Thanksgiving this past week. Went over to my dad's. They actually live in a kind of a old school town. I don't know, Pat, if you've ever been to Lebanon. But it's a really like, you go into it and it looks like a town out of, a picture 50, 60, 75 years ago, whatever. But we went to their house. They live really close to downtown Lebanon, and downtown Lebanon was having a horse-drawn carriage parade, a Christmas like parade. So we walked down to that, and apparently there was like 100 carriages like in this parade, like pretty. Yeah, there was a lot. We actually made it like. Go ahead.
Where does that come from? Like just like there's like 100 carriages in people's like garages, and
I think that's what people still drive around there. Honestly,
just a horse and buggy.
They just drove like there was normal people driving on the streets. It wasn't even a parade. But no, we went down there, and that whole thing sounds really awesome when you say it, but when you get there, you're like, There wasn't even music playing. It was like,
it was just the clop,
just
clop,
the horse
clop.
coming through. Yeah, and then just the clop and people waving, like, and it's like, it feels like they probably should have something though,
Yeah.
It was okay, but I think we made it to about 7 or 8 carriages, and we're like, all right, like we've seen it.
we understand.
Ready to go?
We understand what's
Yeah,
happening.
we've been here. We're gonna tell people that we were here. We can tell people that we had the experience. By the time we circled back around, we did actually catch like the end of it as well, like some of the big old carriages, like they were really cool.
The double deckers, the stretch carriages, the
pumpkin carriage.
Did they have any like on hydraulics where it like popped up like zzz, like
I don't know that. I don't think
my friends.
I don't think they had any of
that. Nay, 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 nay.
Scissor doors on the carriage.
Yeah. It's just a cool horse and pulling a Lamborghini. No, it was nice. It was a little cold. That definitely played a role in it, and there was a lot of people, so it was really hard to get like people got there like really early to get like a good to get like a spot. And I'm not about that life ever under any circumstances.
That sounds funny to get a spot for a horse and buggy parade.
I know. I bet you all the kids were super excited, honestly. And then when it happened, like after the first couple of parade, or after the first couple, they're like, "This is lame."
No, they're like, "Where's the
candy?" And I feel bad because
right
these
now?
people, like these people put on this big show, and like I just personally wasn't super interested. It was beautiful. I mean,
yeah.
But I don't know if you guys ever. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but as I get older, it gets way worse. I always feel really bad for the horses every time. Like I actually grew up with horses as a kid. We had horses, like they were ridden, all this stuff. And it was never really my thing. Like, first of all, I'm a big dude. Like I'm not about to like make a horse struggle to carry me around. That's out of the realm of possibilities for me. Like I'm not doing that. So I only rode like when I was a little kid, but now I just like, I feel really bad for him. Like there was a little pony, one of those little bitty miniature horses, and it was pulling a like a coach, just like one of those little 2-seater ones. It's like a little rickshaw, really.
Yeah.
But it was just a single mini horse, and there was 2 full-grown people, and the guy like kind of hefty. You know what I mean? I was like, "What are you guys doing? This little horse out here is struggling. This horse is the size of a dog. You got him out there just like,
hey."
That was like the last one for us. We're like, we're out of here.
This is animal abuse.
I wanted to run out there and let him go.
I mean, I've not watched a horse and buggy parade and viewed that kind of situation, but I will say going to the zoo as an adult now, I can see the deadness in the animal's eyes. Like I feel really bad for them. And I'm like, this isn't fun for you. Like you're just looking, you're like, oh, look at the beautiful animal. And they're just clearly bored. Yeah, they're literally trapped in a cage, not living the good life. Some of them are, endangered and that kind of stuff. But some zoos like have animals that are very common, and it's like, why do you have this animal here? Like, is it just to fill a quota?
It's a squirrel.
Yeah, it's like let it go.
Yeah, I feel the same way when I go to the zoo. But like, I felt that way at the parade, and it just I don't know.
Should have just gone in freedom. Like, just start unhooking horses and just slapping them on the butt
I-
and say, "Go, get out of here!
I hope
You're
so.
free! You're free, little pony."
Just ran out there and drop kicked the one guy and then let that little horse go. Just that one little. I probably could have picked him up and thrown him over my shoulder.
Missed
honestly.
opportunity.
Yeah. So, but anyways, the parade was okay. It was fun to hang out with family, honestly.
Yeah.
Other than that, I just have one last thing, which is in the gaming realm. I started to play another game. I don't think I've talked about it yet. I haven't gotten like too crazy into it, but it is a fun game that I think Lucas might like. It's on Game Pass.
Okay.
It's called ANVIL Vault Breaker.
ANVIL Vault Breaker?
Vault Breaker, yeah.
Okay.
So basically it is almost just like Enter the Gungeon. That style of gaming, like a rogue light or whatever it is.
Twin stick shooter.
It's like it's like you're in like third person view over the top. It actually it's one of those games where
it's way better quality as far as visuals is concerned. It looks like it is up to
it does
date.
look it looks like a really cool game. Like the guns and the weapons and stuff all look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you get updates basically as you go, and then you can equip those updates for like your next run. It's actually, we've played it co-op 3-player. We still haven't, like, the levels are basically worlds. So like the first level that you can go to is 5 worlds, basically like 5 levels.
Yeah.
So once you make it to the end, you beat it. Then there's 7, and then there's 2 more, which we haven't even gotten to. I don't even know how many they are, but the 7, like, we've only beat it like one time. It's pretty rough, like even with a couple of us. So
yeah.
But it is really like a really fun game. They have like daily challenges, so you don't have to like put your own money into the game, like to buy new characters, but you do only start off with like 3 or 4 characters.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, basically every time you beat stuff, you get coins and you can, unlock some new characters, which are pretty sweet. But no, I think we'll have to play it because I think you guys will really like it.
Now, is this local co-op or is this online?
No, it's online.
Okay, cool.
It's online.
Patrick, have you talked about it? Am I forgetting?
No,
that
I've never talked about it. I just heard about it, and it's a game. It's in game preview right now. So it is a little buggy. It's not a full release or anything like that, but it feels like a completed game to me.
It really does. It doesn't feel very clunky. The only problems we've had with it is like connectivity and initially getting started. A pretty fair amount of time we have to like restart, regroup, and you know what I mean? Yeah.
So I think one of the things about this is with the Xbox, they have the quick resume. So, and this game does not like it. So if you were to like shut it down, then come back to it a day later, you have to shut down the game and then come back into it because it doesn't.
Gotcha.
Like resume.
I do that every time anyways, because when I exit gaming for the night, I just shut my Xbox off and I walk away. Well, so when I come back to it, I have to close it first because it doesn't like the quick restart.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I wrote it down. I'll download that and check it out sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all for me. How often do I come with a game recommendation though?
It's pretty often.
I mean, it happens.
It
happens sometimes.
That's some good ones.
Usually,
I didn't know about Enter the Gungeon until you said something.
Oh man, I loved Enter the Gungeon. That was so much fun.
I don't even know how you beat that game. I have no idea.
I don't either. Persistence, patience,
no
persistence.
I don't have a life.
And no life. Yeah. Cool. All right. Patrick.
Yes.
Earl and Iffle.
Let's start with Earl. We'll start with the old in real life. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
Nothing happened.
Really,
and that's it, folks.
Really, I mean, it's been a ho hum. I mean, this past weekend we went to this Christmas village at a place near us, like 15 minutes away, and it's actually the same place where the wife and I got married. So, and I haven't been in there in quite some time. I mean, we got married over 14 years ago. And just going in there just brought back a whole slew of memories. Just where we took pictures, where we played Rock Band right before the wedding. That me and the groomsmen were playing that. Cool. I brought my 42-inch TV. I brought my Xbox 360. I brought the whole like drum set, guitars, and everything like that. So just going to that room was pretty, surreal kind of feeling. So it was, we were there with the fam. There was like Santa pictures, make your own ornaments, feed the reindeer. There's a couple reindeer there so it was fun. But it was more not for me for the Christmas stuff, but it was just the memories of it all was kind of cool.
Right. Nice.
So with the pandemic and inflation and cost of everything has increased. Just trying to find ways to, reduce my expenses however much I can. We used to have Disney Plus and Netflix and Hulu, and so we got rid of all those. Just trying to find ways to cut corners and things like that, and make food at the house, no longer go out to eat, kind of stuff like that. And so I'm sitting there watching a cool series with Claire. We just started Karate Kid. She wants to watch all the Karate Kids and then get into watch Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to watch Cobra Kai together. So we were in the middle of Karate Kid 2. And I don't know why my mind went to it, but I was like, man, we need to reduce our internet bill. So I went online, and while we were watching the Karate Kid 2, I was just chatting with an agent with our internet provider. And I was like, hey, my bill's kind of high. What can I do to reduce my monthly bill? And they're like, hey, well, you can actually get twice as fast internet, and it'll be $30 cheaper. And I have to do this, and it's for 12 months. I'm like, okay, that's going to save me like $300 something. I was like, all right, what's the catch? And they're like, well, after 12 months, it goes back up to your normal price.
$1 million.
And I was like, it just goes back up to what it is right now. I was like, all right. And then she's like, well, you can just contact us again, and we can talk about the other specials that are going on at that time. And I was like, why can't you just do this like on just perpetual? Why do I have to do this? Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So yeah, now I have like blazing fast speed. It was, I had to download like 800 megs of new God of War update that just came out today. And it took like 18 seconds to download that. It was blazing fast.
That is sweet.
It was awesome. Yeah. So yeah, just trying to find simple, easy ways to save some money. So I'm like, what else can I do? So I'm going to contact all my insurance, my like auto and homeowners insurance, to see what I can do to reduce that. Cause it's just like, man, I think it's cost so much nowadays.
Stuff piles up too.
Yeah.
Man, like the eggs used to be like 88 cents, and now they're $3. Milk used to cost $1 for a gallon. Now it's like $3. It's just like everything is just increasing. So we're feeling
a lot of milk.
Yeah, I drink milk every morning.
I love milk. I could drink it
Milk's the best.
with every meal. Honestly, like I just
yeah, it's 1%. So we have 2% in the fridge right now, but normally it's 1%. But yeah, full glass of milk in the morning. It's how I start my day.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Like just white milk, or do you put chocolate in it?
Usually white. If I'm feeling frisky, I'll put some.
It's gonna be
chocolate milk.
Frisky day. Let's put some chocolate in this.
I'll put in some chocolate, but no, it's normally white.
Just recently, we splurged and we bought some Hershey's chocolate syrup and Hershey's caramel syrup. And we're living like kings over here, except
every glass is chocolate milk.
Except I have to keep an eye on my kids, because I'll look over and Tasha's just like squeezing it, and it's like a waterfall going into her milk. I can see the milk,
a milkshake.
The milk level just keeps going up. And I'm like, okay, listen, I'm all about that, chalky milk life, but you got to calm down, girl. You're overusing it.
That is the best, overusing it though.
I mean, it's tasty.
I don't know. I think if it's too much, it gets too.
You think
too sweet? No. But yeah, so that's all. I guess that's on the life front. On the movie front, I watched. So I know that Mark had talked about this last week, but I watched Spirited. as well,
Mm-hmm.
with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. I'm not, and this is a musical. Like, this is a straight up musical. They sing, but my goodness, it was hilarious. It was way funnier than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
they're going to make you laugh if you like those guys. And they were a fantastic duo. Like, it was so good. The songs were hilarious. They were making fun of, like, because it is a Christmas Carol, basically, where it's a ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, and it's just a different take on it, and which was nice because I mean the Christmas Carol movie,
Same one's been done
and
a
stories
million
so many times,
so played, and so they had it was just a little bit differently, which was nice. It was a fresh take on it, but one of the songs on there is just out of this world hilarious. So they go back in time, and they start saying good afternoon, and good afternoon is a cuss word for back in the day. So they do a huge, like, middle of the movie song about good afternoon.
Wait, is that for real?
It is. I never fact checked it and see if
Like,
that was
good
for real.
afternoon was just like, hey, you,
How dare you?
up yours or something.
You.
Like,
Yeah,
blank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah. And so they would say, he'll tap someone on the shoulder, say good afternoon. They're like, oh my word, oh I never, it's like, so it was good. If even if you don't like musicals, I think it was good enough because of just the songs they were singing. It was more geared towards adults because I mean, I think it was PG-13. It was on Apple Plus. I wish, to be honest, I think this would have been more of a family movie if they would have removed the cuss words. And at one point, they just, in one of the songs, they put up the middle finger. I'm like, oh man, like I can't watch this with my kids. Right? It wouldn't be an instant classic. It's not an instant classic. If they would have taken it out, I think this would have been one of those movies that you play every Christmas.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not. Which was a little bit of a negative to the movie. But outside of that, it was hilarious. Fun movie. I think Mark said 8 out of 10 good afternoons, and I agree. 8 out of 10 good afternoons. Yeah.
All right.
Very solid movie.
It must have been pretty decent if they use a lot of curse words and there's middle fingers and stuff, and Mark gave it an 8 out of 10. Yeah,
I mean, when I say they were cussing, it's not all the time. It was more of those cursory cuss words too, where it's just,
which ones?
Like, almost fell into that trap.
Well, there's shiitake mushrooms and there's
Hoover Dam. And...
yeah. Well, I'm going to be leading your damn tour.
So yeah, and then on the gaming front, I played.
Been doing some gaming.
I did. I mean, the normals.
Sounds like a really bad
WW and Apex, but I did play the newest Dark Pictures anthology game, The Devil in Me, which is a choose your own adventure horror style game.
Yeah.
Not for me.
It was It was I mean, they churn. I feel like they keep churning these out like every year, and it's starting to get a little stale. It just seemed like there was no motivation behind the villain. I didn't, who the villain is, but you don't really know why he's doing what he's doing. Like, is he just? You read all these things, all these notepads and secrets and all that stuff. You try to figure out what's going on, but unfortunately, it wasn't kind of spelled out for you. It was all like in scripts and things like that.
Scary?
So there was a couple times where the jump scares got me.
Nice.
I mean, there's the whole point of it is try to get as many people alive at the end of the game as possible. But there was one moment where there's a dog. There ends up
I'll tell you what, right now, if that dog dies,
the villain was
0 out of 10.
Had come after, and the dog was like kind of like growling, yelping, and panting and things like that. And so the dog was like hooked up to something. So I unhook the dog, go hide in a room. It was me, it was two girls and the dog. And the dog just continues to make noise. And the villain finds out where they are, goes into the room. And so you had a choice, is one, to let the dog go to attack the villain, or two, hold on to the dog. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna kind of keep this dog safe. So when I held the dog there, I couldn't move. The villain comes in, straight up axed the face on one of the girls. And,
oh no.
But the dog lived. And I was like, all right, I can
It was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I will make the same decision over again.
Go, yeah.
Yeah. And then so at the end of the game, you get onto a boat and the dog jumps onto the boat and a trophy pops. The dog lives. And I was like, yes. I was like, that's the only trophy I care for.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the game, it shows all the characters that ended up living at the end, and the dog's sitting right there in the middle of all of them. And I was like,
that's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then usually at the end of the games, they do a trailer for the next game for the Dark Pictures anthology, and the next one is set in space. So,
oh gosh, I was just gonna say aliens.
Yeah, I am all in on the space, and I'm assuming it's gonna be aliens. I don't know. But it was a short little teaser of what's going to come out next year. So I'm excited for that one. When I say, oh man, this is getting stale, they just jump the shark and throw it in space. So I'm like, all right, I'm back in.
Yep. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, but that's about it for me.
All right.
Lucas, all right. Last but not least, what's up?
Hey, what is up with me? I'm going to keep up on the IFL front because my gaming life has not been too exciting. Patrick, I was going to ask you, last time I checked, you were unsure just because there's so much coming out and just games galore and all that jazz. Are you pursuing the platinum in God of War Ragnarok?
So I am, but I'm not using a guide right now. I am just going around and I am going to each mission, and I'm just playing because I am enjoying this game so much that I don't even want to. I'm not rushing it. Like I said when I said that before, I don't want to rush this game because I'm having so much fun. So I'm just going from one mission to the other. There's one like mission thread where you have to kill all these berserker guys, which are like the heaviest, the hardest
heavy hitters.
Yeah, they're like the Valkyries from God of War 1.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, or if this is just part of one of the missions, but you have to fight a Valkyrie at one point.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's like
in the game.
Yeah, so it's just
Did she sneak up on you like she did me?
No, like you know what? I kind of. I didn't know what mission I was doing. I was like, this is the next mission that's closest to me. I'm just gonna go to it. And she murdered me. Like I didn't even get like
too.
Oh my god! And
I took off like a sliver of her life, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come back later.
I'll come back later. So you die, and you come back, and it's just like she's just standing there, and she's talking to you, and I'm like, well, how the heck do I get out of here? So I get like warped into the second match with her, and I'm like, and I say the same thing, and then you come back to life. She's still standing there. I was like, I got to figure out how to get out of here because if I am stuck in this loop, I'm never going to be able to finish this game. But no, I just turned around and I jumped down, and I was like, oh, we'll come back later.
Dude, I did the exact same thing. It was like, so there's been these little, and this isn't spoilery, but there's been certain side missions where you find like a recipe or you find things near a fire. And this was one of those moments where I thought, oh, I'm going to get this recipe or I'm getting this trinket near the fire, and you pick it up. And that's when she just like jumps out of nowhere and just starts wailing on you. And it's like, okay, let's fight. And then she destroyed me. And then I immediately, as soon as I reloaded the checkpoint, I didn't even try to use my resurrection stone. I was like, I'm not wasting it on this. I have no chance right now.
Right.
So I just go away, and she's like, well, I'll be here when you're ready. And I'm like, I'm not ready.
I don't even know who you are, but why are you trying to kill me here?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm saving that one for last.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She makes the berserkers look like little babies. Like they're easy now compared to her.
There was one berserker where you have to fight a berserker and then like 2 other twin sisters or whatever. So you have to fight 3 at once.
Dang.
And I tell you what, I was on that for probably as long as I was on against the final Valkyrie in God of War 1.
Yeah.
And it was like, because you have to do 12 of them, I think, or 11 or 12 of them.
There's 12. Yeah.
Okay, there's 12. And I this might have been like my 4th one, and I'm like, man, this is really, really hard. So I go back to Lunda, get upgrades and things like that. I go back, and I'm there, and I'm probably, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times still dying, and I finally beat it. And I'm like, sliver of health. Really, my hands are like claws because I'm just like hitting R1 and L2 and L2 and L1 and all that stuff. And so, and then I go on to the other berserkers. I'm like, okay, I'm just doing berserkers tonight. And so I go to the other berserkers, not even close to being as hard as the other one, as that one. Yeah. Not even close. I just didn't even die. Probably not even half my life taken down. Pretty easy.
Well, I don't know about you, but I love just cycling through my weapons and just using all my runic attacks, because that usually takes someone down to like half their life. And then I'm like, okay, now I need to run away until it recharges. I don't do that, but that's
there's in God of War, there's 3 different rages. One is you get health back every time you hit them.
Yeah, I use the old school one. I like to punch and get life back. I do that too. I don't like the Wrath one, the charging one, like where he charges at them. I'm not a big fan of that.
No, yeah.
I used it once or twice. Yeah. The health one's good too. It's just I like to cause damage and also like it. I feel like with the Fury one where you're punching them, it also gives you a breather because you're like mostly invulnerable and you just keep punching, and then it just kind of gives you a moment to collect yourself, and then once it's gone, then you go back to fighting with finesse.
I mean, but when you're punching, using the rage and getting health back, always press square to get those arrows.
For sure, yeah, you spam it. I mean,
all the time. Yeah.
Half the time, whoever's in charge of the arrows, they're just like, I don't have any arrows right now. You're pressing it too many times, but I still do.
Have you? So, I mean, this is good, kind of like a God of War, like mini gameplay. But with the 3rd weapon, if you hold it in, you throw it, and it like swirls around them for a period of time. You can. I
haven't done that very much.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I need to do that. It's
a great way to do a range and to kind of get away from the fight a little bit.
Yeah, I'm totally. Yeah, I know you do, Ronnie. I know you've been quiet on this just because you agree with us so much on this. Yeah, I was just going to say, actually, if you are pursuing the plat, especially organically, because I am doing the same, which is unheard of. When I get to these cleanup times, I'm usually like, where's the guide? Tell me what to do. And I'm like, you know what? I'm really enjoying this world. I just want to walk around and discover. Yeah. Now, sometimes that's caused me to do some backtracking and I get a little irritated or I get lost because the map is not the best sometimes, and the icons, like, they move around. I mean, just imagine Ronnie having a GPS where it says, in 1 mile, you reach your destination. And then it's like, oh, wait, turn right, turn around, go the other way. It's like, what are you telling me to do? So that's happened a couple times, but
no. And when you're like, you put like you go to your map and you set a waypoint, and on your like compass while you're walking around, it is the worst compass I've ever had.
The icon like jolts around.
It's the worst.
It's like, okay, it's in front of you. No, wait, it's to the right. And I'm just like confused.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, this is where you need to go, but now you've gotten to a point where you can't get any further. And it's like, why is it taking me this way then?
Yeah.
I was frustrated. And that point, those are the points where I want to look it up, but I'm like, whatever. There's still another 1,000 things on this map that I need to look at.
Just go somewhere else. That's pretty much what I'm going to do all I can organically. And then when it comes down to like that one last Raven, I'm going to be like, okay, I need to look up a guide. I don't know where to find this.
Ooh, I will have to look up the Ravens for sure.
Yeah. It's annoying because you can hear them like squawking, but you can't always see them.
And some of them, they're in the middle of a lake. I'm like, how do you get to this? How do you get in the middle of the lake?
Well, there's ways.
And then I go past and just find something else to do.
Yeah. But yeah, so Ragnarok cleanup has been fun, chipping away at that. Finished the first full season of Marvel Snap, and yeah.
How'd it end?
That's all. I mean, Wakanda
Cliffhanger?
Forever. It was the Wakanda Forever one, and I had fun. It was a good time. I completed all the missions. I finished on level 69, so not bad. And then
way to end things.
Collection level 640, and with a little old 40 rank on the rewards table. So yeah, not too shabby. The other thing that was
so, are you going to continue on in the next season? When does the next season come out?
I might. It starts tonight at midnight. I may check it out. I may take a break. We'll see. It's still
You're gonna have that Marvel Snap itch
up in the air. Yeah, I might get the itch. It depends on what they're throwing at me. There's like my favorite card this past week was Ultron, and it's because right at the end, whatever open space you have on your layout, when you throw down Ultron, he just throws out a bunch of drones, and if you have the right card perks, it'll just give you a bunch of points and smear their ruin upon the mountainside, as Gandalf would say. I'm mixing IP, but it's fine. Yeah, so I will be trying out the next season probably, but I probably won't play it as hardcore as I did this past season now that it's over. The other thing that, happened in the IFL front is, and this is thanks to PlayStation Stars. I got a mission lately. It was to get a little digital arcade cabinet that looks like a replica to Mortal Kombat's arcade cabinet. And I was like, I got to have this in my little trophy case. Now, speaking of the trophy case, Ronnie, the trophy case of trophies that really only I'm looking at. Other people can look at it.
I do recall this one.
So I just discovered, because last week or the week before I filled it up for the first time, and I assumed I had the next wall I could fill up. Well, no, that's it. You have 12 spots. And so once you get more trophies, you have to take out the old ones or the ones you don't like, or the other trophy doesn't ever get displayed. So I've already maxed my 12 spot trophy case, but I wanted to go. Yeah, 12 spots. That's it. You got to be choosy. So right now I have like a row of T-Rexes. I got a row of PlayStation IP. I got a row of cabinets, arcade cabinets, and a row of something else. I don't know. But
12 spots it does seem a little ridiculous though, even though I think potentially this entire thing doesn't mean anything.
Oh no, it doesn't mean anything whatsoever.
Why wouldn't they just give you as many spots as you want?
I know, right? I mean, it's so what kind of is it taking up space?
Got plenty of memory.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It is what it is. So I wanted to get the fake Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet, because when you look closely, it has the lightning going down the side, Patrick, and it's got a character that looks like Raiden, but when you look closely,
it's like a Funko Pop Raiden.
Yeah, it's like a weird off-brand Dollar Tree Funko Pop of Raiden, but it still looks like a Mortal Kombat cabinet. So one of the ways you could get it was by playing a fighting game, and Tekken 7 was there. I was tempted to just go back to Tekken 7, but then I saw Mortal Kombat 11 there, and I was like, you know what? That's on a PS Plus Extra or Essential or whatever. So I downloaded it and booted it up. Just played through the tutorial. I didn't have much time to play, but I'm definitely going to play through the story. So I'll get back to you on that. Continue with the Mortal Kombat story there. And then because of PlayStation Stars, I also played a game called The Messenger. I need to play through it, but it's pretty much a modern side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden. So you're just a samurai with a sword and slashing guys. A ninja, I guess, is more accurate, not a samurai. It is really fun, and the writing in it is excellent. I've laughed out loud just randomly a couple times, mainly because the shopkeeper in this game is totally like he's almost breaking the fourth wall. Like he's saying things that are very tropey, and then very much like, well, this is the point where I would tell you what's going on with the boss you're about to fight, but I'm not going to tell you anything. So good luck. Hope you don't die. Like, it's just that kind of stuff where it's very self-aware, but the jokes and the writing are excellent. But it is a lot of reading, Patrick.
Well, yeah, I'm out.
Sorry. No audio, but the music, all of it, it's got a very cool, 8-bit Nintendo feel, but it's got a lot of modern features to it in terms of story and the power-ups you get and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty fun.
Nice.
I'll share more in the future when I proceed.
All right.
In real life, I'm going to start with the bad news. And this is going to hurt your guys' hearts. And I apologize ahead of time.
Why are we doing this?
I just got to be real. I'm not gonna focus too much on it, but I have to just lay it out there.
I don't know if this is a joke or if this is serious.
I watched all 9 seasons of Seinfeld with my wife.
You did. Oh, we were 5 episodes away from doing it.
We finished it. And let me tell you, the finale made me happy. And I wish there were more episodes. Good. I wish there were more episodes to put these terrible, deplorable, just awful human beings in their place. Because that's like the main thing that I know is kind of the shtick in part of the comedy. But they're just such awful people. I cannot believe.
Oh yeah, they only care about themselves.
And there's no growth and there's no development. There's no redemption whatsoever. And so it just can't be a show that I like. It's just, there are funny moments, and there are moments when I was crying. I was laughing so hard. Stuff that Kramer was doing. Most of the time it was Kramer. Kramer and there were other characters. I'm trying to think of some of them, but like seeing some of the characters come back.
Newman's in for me. Like
Newman is good. He is.
The one where they're making the sausages in Jerry's apartment.
Oh yeah, of course. Just dance and listen to the. Yeah. So it was, it was a journey, and it was tough sometimes. That definitely has aged not well in some ways, and then it's aged fine, but.
You're actually probably the only person I've ever heard describe it that way, that they're all really awful people. And it's common knowledge, really, I think, based on they're all selfish.
Yeah,
that's what makes the show kind of. But I think you're the first person that I've ever actually the first person that's made me think of that before.
Yeah.
I never really paid attention to it.
Yeah. So, and I like, for me, that's an important part of something. Whatever I'm watching, I need some redemption. I need some learn from your mistakes. I need some bit of hope that there's, some goodness in there, and they got none of it. So it fell flat for me and the wife, but we watched it. We did it. We laughed sometimes. We kind of, just shrugged our shoulders and said, yep, we just watched that or just experienced that and moved on. So I just wanted to report that I did it. I saw it through.
All right.
I wish I could get a trophy or something.
Would you rate it?
Surviving.
Can you rate it?
Oh man, that's tough. Yeah, I probably should rate it. It wouldn't be fair not to rate it.
So you don't like Seinfeld, is what you're saying?
No, I don't like it. I mean, I understand some of why people do, but I don't. It's not my cup of tea.
I got you.
I'm gonna give it the hard part's not actually the number, it's what is it out of 10. What, like, and it has to be with Seinfeld, so it has to be something that like go ahead. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10 Serenity Nows.
Okay,
so 5 out of 10.
Man, you went through all 9 seasons and it's only a 5. What if the ending was redeeming? Would it get like a little bit higher?
No, but that's the thing. The ending is what I love the ending because they deserved it. Like, I'm like, you know what? If you're not going to learn your lesson, at least you get put in your place, and you might not get it. You might not care. It was just. I mean, it was. Yeah, they're very self-aware of what they're doing, and that's fine. But just not my cup of tea. So
yeah.
But we saw it through. And I'm glad it was like 20-minute episodes. If it was like 40-minute episodes, that would have been tough.
There are some that aren't like, they're not fantastic, but there are some that are just absolute bangers where you just laugh the whole time.
And probably if like we talked about it or like there's something that's going to remind me of it, I will laugh and think of it fondly. And maybe...
Oh man, my favorite episode was in the final season. It's the hello and Kramerica Industries and the ball of oil. Oh my goodness.
I love Kramerica Industries. That's a good one. My favorite one though, it was actually on the other day and I watched it. It's the one where he gets his license plates mixed up.
Oh yeah. He's a proctologist.
Proctologist.
And then he meets the guy right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He barks in the doctor spot and everything. He's like, Dr. Cosmo Kramer, proctology. Just points at the guy's like, oh, all right.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I need to mull over it. I don't know which episode would be my favorite. I feel like my favorite character though is easily Kramer. Like he is.
Oh, he's right.
He's the one that closest. Like he's the closest to a redeemable character because he's a pretty good guy. Like he will use you and he'll wring out every bit of your food, like the way he eats all of Jerry's food and is always over there. But he's still a good guy and looks out for people. So I do like Kramer, even if I think in real life he's not that kind of person, or wasn't.
He's done some things in real life that probably.
Yeah. So that is what it is. But his character was pretty fun.
There's a video somewhere out there on YouTube of nothing but him sliding in the door, just opening Jerry's apartment door and sliding in. It's just nonstop sliding. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, his entrance and exits were perfect. Like almost every time. And they were always different. Like he always added a little different.
They had one time where the door was like locked or something, and you just hear him crash into it.
You just hear boom. Yeah. So yeah, we did that. Let's see what else is going on in real life. The World Cup's going on right now. Brazil beat today someone. Who was it? South Korea. So they're on to the Elite Eight of the World Cup.
Didn't they whoop South Korea?
They did. They scored all 4 of their points in the first half, and we thought it was going to end up being like 8-0. Yeah. But in the second half, Korea scored a point, and Brazil didn't do anything. They just hung out and just kicked the ball around.
Yeah, but isn't it like, since it's Brazil, like every time like a child is born, like a soccer ball is just like handed to him though?
No, it actually comes out with the child.
That does make more sense. It's like just so much more popular, I feel like.
Yeah,
it's popular here right now because of what's going on.
It's a soccer ball.
Yeah, this soccer ball falls 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one. Yeah, no, it's like you think of games that we just grow up playing on the street. It's not usually soccer. Like we'll play basketball, or we'll play, even people will play stickball, like in that baseball with the stick. I don't know if there's a name for that, but this is those kind of things where soccer is the only game you see people play everywhere. Like,
yeah,
you just need a ball, and then they just kick it.
If my buddies were like, "Hey, we're playing soccer," I'd be like, "I'm out."
Just count me out. Yeah, but it's like with volleyball. Like, you're a fan of volleyball, you just need a volleyball. You don't need a net. You can just serve it up to each other, hit it up in the air, form a circle, whatever. So it's kind of the same thing with soccer here, and just people.
Yeah.
Kids play it all their lives. So yeah, they're all really good for the most part. So yeah, that's been fun to follow along with. But the big news, the big thing that we're only going to cover a small portion of, the big news is I got to experience my very first Comic-Con. CCXP, Comic-Con Experience, as it's called. It's really Sao Paulo Comic-Con. I don't know why they don't call it that. You have San Diego Comic-Con, the original. I did not. He came on Saturday.
Dang
I did. Trust me, I really wanted to, but that place was a madhouse. So I went on Thursday, and I went on the day that was principally Disney announcements. But I did get to see some really cool folks from a distance. Some up to as close as like 20 feet, maybe, I think. So not too far away. It's pretty close. But so I hung out all day with my friend Guilherme. He is a Comic-Con veteran ever since Comic-Con Experience, I guess, started in 2014, and he's been coming every year minus pandemic year. I think 2020 and maybe 2021 they went on hiatus for 2 years. But this guy is a super fan of Comic-Con. He's a super fan of comics. He was showing me the books, not the books. He showed me his comic books, but he showed me he has sketchbooks where he's had comic book artists do doodles and sign their name, and it's like legit That's Batman cool. sketches, like straight out of a comic, legit Hulk, Spider-Man, different sketches. I'll post it in the Discord and share with you guys in the near future, but really cool. And he has a quality connection. He actually collection of comics. He actually, I guess his his edition of The Killing Joke is really rare. I guess there's like multiple editions to the Killing Joke comic book line, but his is really rare
when it comes to comic books.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have this thing where they grade it.
Yeah.
Like when you have like a comic that's a Keystone, I think Keystone edition, where it's a first appearance of somebody. And he was taking a few of those comics to have them graded and to see how much they're worth. So that was pretty cool just to see that. That's totally out of my field of knowledge or anything. So I was
they actually were talking about that on like I flip on that show Pawn Stars every now and then.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like there's always a bunch of comic books and grades and stuff, and they've had them like $400,000 is like what they're asking and stuff, like
thousands
just
of
ridiculous
dollars
costs. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it was pretty cool to see that. I got a few comics for the kids for Christmas, so that'll be fun to share with them. One of which
books were cool.
Yeah, totally cool, right? We have some hardback Star Wars comics that we display back here. But these comics that I got for them are just for them to have. And so paper ones, old school, and they're both Spider-Man ones. So given we've been watching the Spider-Man movies. And then after that, we went to it's called the Omelette Center. So here in Brazil, their IGN, or their biggest, I guess, dispenser of gaming and entertainment news, is called Omelette. And I asked multiple Brazilians why, and they don't know. It's just the name, Omelette.
Yeah,
so
whatever.
It is what it is. So how it worked is, on Thursday, you had the I always wanted to call it the Thunderdome, but I think it was the Thunder Balcony, the Balcão Thunder or something like that. And that's where they do the main unveiling of the trailers. They do the panels. You have to like stay the night in line in order to get into this place. So I was not about that, being my first Comic-Con. So we went to the after party area, as it were. So when they would make their announcements in the Thunderdome area, afterwards, then they would come to the Omelette stage and they would be interviewed for like 5 minutes. And so it was during that time that we got to see Pedro what is his name? Thank you for finishing my sentence there. Sandwich. Pedro Pascal was there. They called him, so they gave him the nickname Space Daddy. And I was like, Space Daddy? Nobody's calling him that, but they said, we've given you the nickname Space Daddy. What do you think of that? And it's like, what's some guy going to say to that? Like, oh, I hate it. He was a nice guy. And so he's like, yeah, that's cool. But I'm like, he's totally the Dadalorian, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But he gave a really great interview. He was wearing like the loudest suit I've ever seen in my life. It looked like green, just curtains that just got put on him into suit shape. It was awesome. I mean, when you're that famous and, that cool, you could do what you want.
Whatever you want.
Exactly. Yep. And then after that, the big group came out, and you had Kevin Feige. You had, what is WASP? I'm like blanking on the names. I even wrote these down.
So far, I haven't recognized a single name.
Rudd.
Just
Evangeline Lilly.
Evangeline Lilly. The guy that's playing Kang. I can't remember his name. And
Chris
then Paul Rudd. No, not Chris Rock. Stop it. The big one's Paul Rudd. But those four came out. And there's a fifth guy, but I don't know who he was. His head was shaved. I think he was a producer. I don't even know his name. But they came out, all five of them, and the place went crazy. And this is where Paul Rudd was like within,
Jonathan Majors,
thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Rudd was in like 20, maybe even 15 feet away from me. And I kid you not, at one point he sat on the couch and his back was to where I was with the group. And he turned around and I think he looked me straight in the eyes and just smiled. And I was like, this man is awesome. Like, it was the interview was cool. It was fun, but he was like the star of the interview. And it wasn't because of what he had to say. It was what he was doing the entire time. He was looking at all around. Like, he was looking at everyone, just waving, like totally forgetting. Like, people are talking, giving interviews, information, and he's just looking around, waving. At one point, he grabs a toy Infinity Gauntlet and just starts playing with it. And he starts waving at the crowd with the Infinity Gauntlet, like this huge toy Infinity Gauntlet. He starts touching his chin, thinking. He picks up the microphone with the Thanos when they're the Thanos gauntlet, when they're going to interview him, and like the crowd is eating it up. But the height of what happened is when Evangeline Lilly picks up Thor's hammer and attacks Paul Rudd with it. And he like puts the glove up and stops it, and they have this whole play fight thing. It was awesome. Like, it was so fun. Paul Rudd is a national treasure.
So you're telling me Paul Rudd, the sexiest man alive, stared into your eyes and smiled?
He did.
Oh my gosh! Did your heart melt?
How
are you still here? I would have had a heart attack.
I am a Paul Rudd super fan now.
There was something different about you today. I didn't know what it was, but now I know.
Yes.
Now you know.
He is up on cloud nine right now.
But yeah, like I always thought he was funny and a cool guy. But now that I've seen him in person and like just how cool he is, like, yeah, I'm a Paul Rudd super fan. We're bros now. Like, we practically, hugged while he was on stage.
20-foot hug.
Trust me, I was tempted to run up there and just be like, "I love you, Paul Rudd. Give me a hug." And I wouldn't be here right now if I did that.
Gauntlet would have been into a fist. Bam.
just sort of smacked me right across the face. Get out of here, crazy man. But yeah, it was super cool. Like, the whole experience was cool. Other than the interviews, we also walked around the show floor. I was wearing just a Spider-Man T-shirt, but it was in the design of the suit for Spider-Man, but it was just a T-shirt, so it was not like cosplay whatsoever. But every single Spider-Man cosplay that I could, take the time to, I got a picture with. So I got a picture with Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales. I got a picture with one of the Spider-Man outfits where it's like he made it, like where it's like the ski mask, but it's red and it's just got his eyes showing.
Oh,
I can't remember. That one might be from the video games if I remember. But anyways, I got pictures with a number of Spider-Man. We went to a few booths, like exhibitions, where you stand in line, you get a poster at the end, and some of them were obnoxious how long they were. And you went inside, and I kid you not, the Avatar one was the worst. You got inside, and all the projectors like displayed the ocean, like under the water. And if you touched it, it like lit up. But it was like Windows 95 lit up. Like, it looked like such bad, like just poor graphics. And then they showed an exclusive trailer for Comic-Con, and I think it was at 15 frames a second. Ugh. Like, it was just like, and I was like, what are we watching right now?
Avatar to be in something like that.
Right? Yeah. Like, when I watched Avatar in 2007 or 8 or 9, whenever that was, it was way better than this. Seen. Yeah. Right. So I'm so excited about Avatar, but this did not help. But we did stuff like that. It was fun. Like, we went and we saw an updated trailer to Quantumania and just walked around, and it was really cool. I definitely want to go to multiple days next year, and maybe even go to the Thunderdome, as I'm calling it, and seeing some, reporting live for the GMG guys. So that would be cool.
All right. It's Lucas Swisher live.
Doing it live. So yeah, that's the life update.
You should just dress as like CCXP. A reporter with a big microphone and just try to start interviewing people.
I should, right?
How would they know?
I saw a number of YouTubers walking around filming themselves, and I definitely photobombed as many as I could. And it's been like, do a little wave, like, hello, hello. Actually, I do want to cosplay next year as Peter B. Parker and just wear the same shirt and sweatpants and the green jacket, carrying around a Coke with a straw and a lid on it and stuff, and just kind of maybe let my gut go for a few weeks.
No, you should go as Peter Parker from Spider-Man 3 with the black suit and everything, and dance and snap.
And dance and bring my bangs down over my eyes. Looking good, Mr. Cocktail.
No one's doing that, so you'll stand out.
Oh, I'll definitely stand out. My wife will disown me. She won't let me stay at home until I shave my head and get the black fingernail polish paint off my fingers. All right, now that's been
do it.
Nope, not even touching that one. Not even doing it. All right. We're going to transition to CCXP talk in a moment, but first we need to close out this portion of GMG Live. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Any wonderings, questions, concerns? Going once, going twice?
I do actually have one thing.
Oh,
all right.
All right.
I realize this I guess, past couple of weeks. We were at Bob Evans and we got our food, and I went to use the salt, just to put some salt on my food, and all they had was the salt grinder.
That's
and
fancier.
I realize, as a society, I feel like we're going towards the grinder, but I hate it.
Oh, do you?
The salt comes out way too big. First of all, it's huge chunks of salt.
It does.
I feel like I just want the small salt that I'm not going to recognize when I'm eating. And also, we went from having something that was really easy to all of a sudden we got to go to work ourselves, to grind up our own salt. What in the heck is happening?
You gotta start working out to grind some salt.
I know, you gotta have strong forearms in order to,
Soon they're just gonna give you a block of salt and a little pickaxe.
And there's gonna be a helmet with a visor. And
I mean, with the fine salt, you can just tap and you get as much as you want. If you grind that salt, you can either get nothing comes out or everything comes out.
You literally never know. And it's this big pieces of salt. I don't want that. I just want salt that I'm not going to be able to crunch.
Just flick it off. Have that.
That's all. Really, I just wanted to complain about that.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. I hear you. All right. Well, that's all, folks. If you want to share what's new with you in your neck of the woods, then let's do some very quick housekeeping where we offer you towels, fluff, pillows, topped with Andy's candies, and tip you off to the GMG news you need to know. On Twitter, Discord, Facebook, and Instagram, you can share what's new with us. If you'd rather connect with us visually or spectatorly, there is YouTube, Twitch, where YouTube and Twitch, not YouTube, Twitch, it's not one conglomerate, I don't think. Not yet. Anyways, it hasn't been bought out by Microsoft, so.
Or Evonn Musk.
Exactly. Did you say Evonn?
I did say Evonn.
I'm Evonn. Hello, I'm Evonn Musk. Brother. Nice to meet you. I'm buying all the companies with my money. Well, now that's the name of the episode, is Evonn Musk. Can't wait to see what Evonn Musk looks like. All right, let's see. Chris the Rock is currently playing God of War Ragnarok. If you want to experience that story.
It's we had a guest.
Hi, Claire. Welcome to the show.
Oh,
hello. Say hello, Claire. Hello.
Hello.
I couldn't stand that episode, by the way.
Dude, I love that episode.
That was your favorite episode. It's a belly button. It's like a belly. Can you imagine? That's what
the fact that he picks the voice over the girl.
Picks the voice over the girl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Hello, what's up?
Can you put my laundry in the washer when it's done?
I sure can.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, bro.
Did she say ma'am?
Bro.
Thanks, ma'am. Wow,
no, she
Patrick.
said man.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, you and I have the same job. My daughter also requests laundry washing. And I'm like, you know what? You know where it is. Get over there.
I'm going to bed. I know you stay up till 1 a.m. You can do it.
Yeah, you wash it.
That's basically what it is. Yeah.
That's fair. You're like, yep, you're right. Yep. All right. Other than that, Patreon, our merch page, you can check those out. All those things can be accessed through linktree.com/thegmgpod. So type it out, click it, go to the show notes, whatever you got to do, get her done. If you can't toss your attention or a coin to your podcasters, but are still the giving type, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Spotify. Helps us reach new joiners through stars, exclamation marks, and your feedback. So let your voice be heard, literally, if you like, at 929GMG, guys. Alrighty then, Pat and Ronnie J and the Spirit of Mark. I did that all out of order, but that's okay. Along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners. Go get your good morning this week, and may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you game. 2, 3, 4.